Well, big day today for paid mods coming to Starfield creations. Some good, some terrible, some excellent. Starting us off with a more of a positive note, we have the Grab 79 Hovercraft vehicle from the legendary Zone 79, who brings us some of the best armor, jetpacks, helmets, you name it. He is the master. This time he's bringing us a standalone vehicle, which is definitely by far one of the more unusual but awesome looking hovercraft vehicles that we've seen. Definitely appearing very similar or referencing the ships from the Matrix. Really do love the look of these. The vehicle comes with full color customization, allowing you to change the various colors. However, I don't believe you can change the color of the lighting of the lights on it. Would have been cool to have one of the colors dedicated to that. However, they do come with some very cool effects. So the feeling of the vehicle is very similar to pretty much all other vehicles. Unfortunately, it's not a true hovercraft. I don't know if we'll ever be able to get one. It's more of a cosmetic look. You technically will still have your four wheels on the ground. I'll just show you how I tested this. I was able to lock my axles on some containers, and without the four wheels touching the ground, I'm unable to move the vehicle. As well as you'll notice just when you go over normal obstacles, you'll still get a very similar sense to a normal vehicle. However, you do get unlimited boost, at least from my testing, unless there's another mod impacting this. So infinite boost with this vehicle, which goes very, very nice. Its speed is pretty much somewhat average in between. It's a nice balance. The overall control and feel of it when you're driving is very enjoyable. So you're getting a pretty standard experience in terms of driving around other than the unlimited boost. But what you are getting is this incredible, basically a reskin with these amazing animations on the hover engines, as well as just the level of detail all over the vehicle is rather stunning. So you do get a much more detailed and really nice little bits and pieces of touches within the actual vehicle itself. You just have an incredible amount of detail. But for me, I would pretty much put this as just like a reskin mod, as it has tons of detail. But by far, the highlight of this vehicle for me, other than its looks, is its weapon. The weapon has been heavily modified, or at least it appears to me. It has some really cool effects, has the best kind of feel to it, and it does quite a good amount of damage. Overall, I think this is a terrific vehicle mod. Fortunately, it's not a true hovercraft. However, if you're looking for a heavily upgraded visual vehicle that will get the ladies turning their head, as well as having a lot of fun using the weapon, then this could be a good mod. It costs 300 credits, and another superb job by Zone 79. Excellent vehicle mod. Let's keep moving. We have a absolutely game-changing mod that has just been released. It is a paid creation for 300 credits. We can have a fleet of ships follow us. And I'm talking any kind of ship, if it's a modded ship, any ship that you can basically add into your own shipyard, into your fleet. You'll be able to have up to 4 vessels follow you around. This is game-changing mod. In fact, here I have spawned in, with the help of another mod, 4 legendary ships. 2 of them don't have weapons, and these ships will not only just follow you around in space once activated, they will join you in combat, as well as having some nice settings to really customize the experience. Now, I couldn't think of a better way to jump in and test this than having 4 legendary Class M ships follow me around into some combat, and this has almost always been a wish to have this kind of functionality, and I know so many people are going to love this because all that hard-earned effort of building ships, well, now you can reap the rewards of having 4 of them follow you around. And there's some other really nice aspects to the functionality that just make this so clean and so worthwhile. For 300 credits, this is an amazing new addition that will have such profound effects of your enjoyment and just how you experience Starfield in general. This mod certainly adds something truly special, unique, and you will get a lot of value out of this. So we're going to dive into this in a bit of detail and just step through all the bits of functionality, some of the settings. This incredible mod is done by Karotic, who's brought us a few mods that you probably already have used or come across, like Useful Brigs, Alternative Vasco, Heat Leech and Infestation, and a mod I wasn't so keen on, the Useful Mess Hall. However, absolutely redeemed with this Fleet Commander mod. Let's get into it. When it comes to the key features, we have the Fleet Management Terminal, accessible onto your currently selected ship or at your outpost. The Fleet Management Terminal lets you add and remove ships from your active fleet. In order to add various ships to your fleet, you'll need to build the Fleet Control Terminal within your vessel. It's added to the miscellaneous, and once you've constructed it, you can enter it. And this is where we'll select up to 4 ships. So in this list down here, it's going to show all the various different ships. It will add it to your active ships. If you want to add or remove a ship, you can simply press the button and then press it again. So it's very simple, straightforward, amazing menu. You can build multiple terminals, so that's nice and handy as well. The Fleet vessels will act like escorts, following you through space and jumping into new systems alongside you. The fleet maintains a following distance of around 800 to 1,000 meters and adjusts automatically based on your movements, giving you a realistic sense of having a squadron at your command. When it comes to combat and survival customization, Fleet Commander provides multiple options to tailor your ship's behavior in combat. You can set them to retreat when the shield or health are low, or to stay and fight until the very end. Each ship in the fleet can independently follow your lead or disperse, depending on the combat intensity, creating a dynamic and chaotic space battles like we've never seen before. There's also enhanced cargo capacity. This mod will offer a combined cargo feature, pooling the cargo holds of your fleet ships to increase your maximum cargo capacity. This enhanced capacity applies even when using shielded cargo, perfect for those who need extra room for valuables or just want to build one ship dedicated to just being the mule of your fleet or your cargo ship. The shared cargo doesn't require splitting items across ships, it simply adds it into your inventory management. This feature is freaking awesome. Then there's the home ship flexibility. Fleet Commander allows you to set any fleet ship as your home ship while you're on the go in space. As long as you're not under combat, this is going to make it very easy to adapt your fleet to your specific needs. So say if you have a ship that specializes more on combat and you want to control that ship during combat, but you're flying your space hauler, well, you can get your hauler, dock with the fighting ship, make that your home ship, and switch over very easily. Your cargo hauler will remain within the fleet and follow the fighter ship. Just as an example, this makes it very easy to adapt your fleet for any specific mission. So a few things to note. So the formation dynamics. The ships will follow in a loose formation, sort of as we mentioned before, because maintaining a strict formation can be challenging due to the space mechanics. The ships will appear to stack rather than perfectly align, but this gives a bit more of a realistic chaotic feel to it. During combat, the ships will scatter naturally, entering combat just like other AI ships do, which really does contribute to a sense of high-stakes space action. You can now create your own epic ship battles, and I suggest you use the iconic ship battles ship tech test mod to really give your fleet a good workout. When it comes to your settings, we have Fleet Commander. We can have it to low shield where they will try jump out of the battle, or when they're on low HP, or simply have them disperse, meaning they'll just try get a bit of distance. Here we can enable the shared cargo functionality. This is extremely helpful and I love the idea of this. We have the feature where we can have both the various options for changing our home vessel, whether we want to first of all dock with the other vessel that will change our current ship over, or allowing us to change over vessels when we do a grav jump. A quick demonstration of changing home ship while in space. First, I'll show you the set home ship on docking. So we've disabled the other option, just keeping this one enabled. We'll get close enough to another ship and we'll dock with it. And you'll see on the top right corner, we'll say, this is now your home ship. We will now board, jump into the pilot seats. We'll simply undock, and now this is our home ship. Going back to options, we're going to disable set home ship on docking, and we're going to enable home ship on fast travel to enable. We'll jump into the new ship and then travel to another planet, moon, or system. You'll note on the top right, you'll see this is now your home ship, changed over from the Razor Leaf. Another nice aspect to this mod is even while we're in space, we can unselect all the various ships we have and then select new vessels to then completely change the fleet up on the fly. All we'll need to do is select, deselect, and then all you need to do is jump to a new planet or moon, and you'll note that you'll have different vessels with you that you've just selected. Isn't that incredible? As well as the awesome settings, we also have the combat targeting adjustments. To avoid targeting confusion, fleet ships are marked with blue arrows, making them easy to distinguish from enemies in dense combat situations. When it comes to the NPC's limitations and future updates, currently crew members cannot be assigned to individual fleet ships, so they can only be assigned to your home vessel, and will only update to a new vessel that you've changed over in space when you do your grav jump. This feature will be pretty tricky, but however, the creator has expressed plans for continued updates based on players' feedback and mod compatibilities. So currently the mod sits at 300 credits, absolute bargain. You get so many junk mods way over 300 credits. Cannot go wrong with this. This will be a staple for everyone. Now I probably have over 200 to 300 mods on right now. I've had no conflicts, no issues. The only thing you may note is a performance hit if you have a lot of big ships with you. But Fleet Commander is a game changer for Starfield players looking to adapt to their space exploration and combat. With flexible fleet management, enhanced cargo capacity, and immersive combat features, the mod delivers an experience akin to leading a squadron in open space. This edition not only enriches gameplay, but also caters to many playstyles, from cargo haulers to space combat enthusiasts. Absolute mind-blowing mod. Let's keep moving. The this is probably one of the more interesting ship mods available right now, only because it opens the door for some really unusual and crazy builds. This is called ZSW Floating Modules. Now, not only does it help with the restriction of having items floating around, but it also adds a ton of new pieces to your shipbuilder that have some incredible potentiality and functionality. But for starters, we have to check out these awesome animated parts. The Zero Grav Link equipment node. This is incredible. It has an animated sort of engine pulsing through the ring. It looks unreal. But coming back to the core aspect of this mod is intended to help break the limits on building ships, providing such pieces that one can float, meaning now you basically can have ships not connected, removing that error where it says all modules must be attached, which will bring a lot of caution to your builds when using this. So for instance, you could technically in some instance potentially have the docker disconnected from your ship or such sort of scenarios like that. So be mindful of that. However, this is going to introduce some crazy aspects to building for many of the pro builders, because now you could come up with some really unusual looks and designs. Now the limits are really going to be pushed with this, but these are just some of the components. We have some solar panels, the GravLink equipment, which we just covered. And what a lot of these pieces do is they have various versions, each adding further distance connecting points each iteration. So as an example, we can hover over this one. The connections are quite close. They're even closer. Here we have it quite spaced out, and then it just gets further, and then coming down to this one, which just had a lot of functionality with so many different connections at all angles. That kind of permeates through the whole idea of this mod. Looking in your builder, you'll find a lot of these in your equipment tab, depending on what you're going for, as well as finding a lot of these in your structural components. But it's going to make for some crazy unusual builds because it just adds so much connectivity. Looking at some of these components, a few more simple but nicely done components to some of the more unusual where you would be able to sort of sit this, say, inside a ship where it can't be seen, and then also add a ton of connections to places you'd never thought you would want or need. And I really love the idea of these floating animated aspects of components. We don't see that too often, only a few other mods that do this. So it's cool to see something like this. You'd certainly be able to create quite a spectacle with some of these animated components. So this mod is done by GoArray. First creation I've seen by this user, but I'm very impressed and I look forward to where this goes and to see what sort of builds come from this, because this is probably one of the more mind-blowing ship mods that I've seen in a while. Do keep in mind, I haven't checked out Matilaha's mod recently. I know he's doing some amazing work, but incredible, robust mod, giving you some functionality that you've never seen. And I think a lot of shipbuilders will enjoy this, or at least have some utility in mucking around with it. Very cool mod. Let's keep moving. So in comparison, here we're going to check out another mod called Ace Cargo Enhanced. This is a paid mod costing 400 credits. Straight off the bat, I do not recommend this. However, I know there are so many shipbuilders that could be eyeing this off and might not really care about what they're getting. But basically, this mod introduces a set of cargo components designed to upgrade the ship's aesthetics, functionality, and storage option. Particularly players seeking to transport a sensitive or illicit cargo discreetly. Basically, what we get is 5 new cargo parts, each with various configuration, port side, starboard options. All the cargo come with some hull structural integrity, with one of the key features being mass reduction. But when compared to the counterparts, it only sort of reduces it a tiny bit. You do get a minor increase to the hull. The idea with some of the aesthetics is that these cargo containers are equipped with shock absorption systems that enhances the cargo's durability, which could add to the realism or immersion for these parts. When it comes to changing the color, you have very minimal options. You can only change some of the metal frame. You cannot change any of the meshing or change the yellow color, which is pretty mind-blowing because it kind of defeats the purpose of the mod, which is trying to come across as enhancing appearances, when we can only change a fraction of the components to a different color. However, some people may love this kind of mod. Looking at the mod author's previous work, it's pretty damn subpar stuff. So I would avoid this creator until we see something more substantial or something more reasonably priced. Maybe for 100, this would be worthwhile, even if these are custom. But to me, it looks like a lot of this has just been reused or cut back or somewhat modified from original pieces. So for the price compared to other part mods that we've covered, I think this one bombs. It's not worth it. But I just wanted to cover that for the shipbuilders. Let's keep moving. Here we have another excellent Hab mod from SG Toll. We've covered some of the Altec Habs before and they were exquisite. Here we have 10 new habitation modules with unique designs, twists. This time Altec is partnering with HopeTech. The Altec specializes in interior design rather than shipbuilding, creating Habs that fit seamlessly with HopeTech's infrastructure. The mod includes some of the most incredible themed Habs, by far beating any paid Hab I've seen so far, with most completed and a few bits and pieces still in development, so you will note some Habs are a bit bare bones, but only a little bit. but they will be updated to be fully fleshed out as we go on. These Habs range from utility-focused labs, specialized containment units for creatures. Here are some of the Hab modules. We have the Vault 2x1, a standard storage-focused Hab that's fully implemented, a Hacker Hab, a tech-centric room designed for cyber-themed immersion, Clandestine Lab 2x1, a Convert laboratory setting, Botany Lab. While not fully complete, this Hab promises a botanical setting for those interested in flora-related setups. A 2x1 hydroponic lab, fully functional, catering to players looking to add a greenhouse-style environment. Then we have the Xeno Warfare labs, specialized containment units for unique creatures. We have the Aceles lab 1x2, which includes a containment cage, but may have minor glitches with creatures positioning. The Raptor lab, which for me, I didn't get the spawn, which can be a little bit of a minor issue. Sometimes it'll spawn, sometimes it won't, but it's the Hab with the eggs in it, which you can interact and take the eggs. I'm not too sure what they do just yet, or if you can do anything with them, but it also does give resemblance to the original Jurassic Park, perhaps. Then we have the Terramorph lab, which will have a little tiny Terramorph running around, and you'll see a few different creatures within all these Habs, and it's a really nice touch. Then we have a brilliant med bay with X-ray, tons of medical equipment, and it's probably one of the best med bay Habs that I've seen. Pretty much all these Habs are. We also have the workshop and armory, some very practical spaces. But I mean, this mod is truly mind-blowing. From the coolest storage hab, hydroponics, medbay, workshop, including all the functionality you've ever dreamed of, and enhancing it much further with things like the multitude of extra functionality that really just makes this mod better than any other Hab mod that I've seen so far, is that there's just so many little switches and details of things to muck around. This is almost the gold standard of introducing Habs into Starfield. There is so much detail. For instance, here we have a chair and a laptop. If we click onto the laptop, we'll sit down and actually interact with the laptop. I don't think I've ever sort of seen this functionality bar some of the housing mods where it's been sort of used in a couple instances. But here we actually have a cool shot of us looking at some blank screens, but still it's pretty cool little bits and pieces like this that just really make this mod stand out. We have another one of these incredible Habs with this awesome steam effect. And it's another glorious hydroponic Hab where we could actually harvest various vegetables. You also have little lights here and there throughout this Hab and other Habs. I'm not too sure what that is. That might be some clipping from something outside, but an amazing hydroponics Hab, as well as adding interactive buttons that control the presence of pets in some Habs, complete with indicator lights, as well as being able to open and close so many shutters and doors and lights. These features give players so much choice and realism to the overall experience. The Hab mods are truly getting epic in Starfield. I don't know how long this would have taken, but rest assured, so much time and effort went into this. It's such a brilliant Hab mod. Definitely deserves a look. Fantastic Hab mod. Let's keep moving. Next, we have the LUMI Rifle System mod by BaDCL200, introducing a highly customizable futuristic sniper rifle and an assault rifle for Starfield, giving players a powerful new arsenal designed to replace the standard mag sniper with over 20 modification options and sleek design. This weapon system offers extensive versatility for players who enjoy long-range and precision-based gameplay. As mentioned, there are two variants or two weapons in this mod, the LUMI 10 Sniper 50 cal, and these weapons are very impressive visually, having so many incredible attachments. You just have to take a look at this and just marvel at its beauty. This is your powerful long-range and customizable for endgame scenario sniper rifle. Then we have the LUMI 10C assault rifle, equally as beautiful and perhaps even more deadly. This weapon platform also comes with a ton of different modifications, as well as quite a few variations of skins. This provides a more rapid fire option for close to mid-range combat, balancing power with control, but the unique design and look of these is just next level. What I really like about this mod is that basically all the attachments are custom, handmade, unique to this mod alone, and there is just so much on offer here. For barrels, we have a mixture of short, stubbed, and long, dramatically changing the overall appearance of the weapon, but offering something for every player. Have one laser sight option, two different sight options, reflex or holographic. For the muzzle, we have a very brutal looking compensator, muzzle brake and suppressor. Suppressor on these weapons is giant, but it has a very appealing look. Stocks, we have the buffer tube, skeleton and tactical, all very dramatically different. I really appreciate the little details of every single mag has a different look, and the overall look is just super clean, precise. We have the usual suspects for internal. Receiver will always fully automatic unless you have other mods, perhaps for the 10C. But when it comes to the skin, this is what's truly marvelous about this mod as well, is that it comes with so many variations of skins that are starkly different, offering true customization and appeal to different players. Even having a pink skin, pretty wild, but I do enjoy the neon lighting. It looks pretty mean with this weapon. Quickly jumping to the skins for the sniper rifle, you also have some gloriously good detailed skins, from a black to a white to the Lotus, which is just a beautiful skin. Most of the other attachments are pretty much standard across these two weapons. However, when it comes to the scope, we have some very interesting options, from a medium range to the Nano Hubble Extreme range, and the scopes are very detailed but so unique to this mod. Then you have also have a recon scope and even a reflex. When it comes to the in-game integration, the weapons are found on enemies and vendors, ensuring they organically integrate into the gameplay. However, for quick access, players can retrieve the rifle from Laredo Firearms in Aquila City, or you can just use console commands if you're on PC. When it comes to these weapons' performance, they both excel within their category. I look forward to being able to add legendary effects and potentially increasing the damage. But this is certainly a supreme weapon mod, but it will cost you 400 credits. But in the past, I've definitely enjoyed this creator's weapons, so it is nice to throw some support back. Given these weapons and how they perform, their looks, all the custom attachments, even though it is still just a generic weapon, not a sci-fi weapon, it still feels very fresh, unique, and I want to keep using these weapons. They just look out of this world, so crystal clean. The textures are awesome, as well as having two weapons that feel very different with so much customization. I would recommend this. However, 400 credits might be a bit steep for some, maybe priced to perfection at 200 to 300 credits, but with all the custom work and the level of detail, as well as the world integration, I think it's a worthwhile investment. An absolutely outstanding weapon mod, definitely worth checking out. Wicked mod, let's keep moving. Here we have the Shady Ship Vendor mod by Shady, which introduces a creative approach to acquiring and upgrading ships in Starfield, offering a streamlined solution to the standard cluttered method of adding new ships into the game. The key features and mechanics are lore-friendly vendor placement. The mod places vendors in Starfield's main cities, including New Atlantis, Aquila, and Neon, making the ship acquisition process feel naturally integrated within the game world. Instead of scattering boxes and slates, players can find these vendors discreetly near ship buildings, maintaining immersion. Then there's the unique ship and upgrades. The vendor offers a variety of upgrade options for the Razor Leaf, specifically A, B, and C class variants. A Starborn variant, unlockable at New Game +5, designed as an advanced Class C ship with exclusive equipment and Starborn weaponry. There's additional Starborn equipment and enhanced engines that are unlocked at New Game +10, allowing players to use Starborn items on other ships, which provides a valuable incentive for progressing into the game. Cool thing about this is that the mod creator is inviting other players to build on from this mod and add their own ships to these vendors. So that could be a cool feature we see over time. Other creators might add their ships to these vendors. Mod order for this one shouldn't really matter, and there should be no real conflict since it's its own vendors. You won't need any pre-required mods. When it comes to purchasing these ships, just be a matter of finding the vendors and purchasing the various different pads that they have. Then going into your inventory and opening them up. It gives quite a good description and some details about the ship. And just taking a quicker look, here is the Razor Leaf version 2A. A nice little redesign, noting that you progress all the way to a Class C, and there is mainly just changed on the internal components, boosting damage, power, and overall performance.